It's laundry day. So I'm wearing this like cow bikini because I have no clean clothes. I just woke up and I'm going to tell you more about this in another live this week, but I just got back from a couple of days camping in the Hoh rainforest on the Olympic Peninsula, which was unbelievable. There was a baby elk hanging out with us at our campsite. So anyway, more on that and my van life aspirations, and not just aspirations, plans that are going to be happening in August. I'm going to make that the topic of a live soon, because today what I want to talk to you about is how to matchmake your friends. Okay, so as you guys likely know, I used to be a professional matchmaker, which is how I got into the whole relationship space, and kind of the first chapter in my journey of coaching people around love and relationships. And I don't technically offer matchmaking as a professional service anymore. However, sometimes I feel inspired. Occasionally, I will just kind of pro bono matchmake my clients if I happen to know someone I feel like they should meet. And I definitely enjoy meddling in my friends' love lives, respectfully. So sometimes, if it really strikes me and I'm like, aha, I see it, these two people, hi, wow, sweet. Sometimes I will matchmake my friends or people I know just for fun because I can't help it. So in this live, I want to give you guys some tips for matchmaking your friends and or getting match made by your friends. So I think that, this is something I say to my clients and my students in Magnetics Love School a lot of, like, the best way to meet people is through people for the most part, in my opinion. I am good. Thanks for hopping on. We're talking about how to matchmake your friends and how to get matchmade by your friends, or how to get set up by your friends, how to set up your friends. So anyway, the best way to meet people is through people. Because, you're all kind of vibing on a frequency. You have shared social network. There's some social proof. There is presumably already, there's some shared connection already. And I think if you're single and you're wanting to meet people, it's a really, really great idea to just let the homies know that you're available to meet people. Because quite frankly, as I just highlighted with my own covert matchmaking, like, people enjoy matchmaking, people enjoy meddling, and people know people. That's something I've been recording the first few modules of this social networking, community building friendship class, Social Sphere, which is going to be available for purchase soon. And we're really looking at just like how effortless it is, or like how we are the nucleus of our own social sphere, our own social network, solar system. In the class Social Sphere, I talk about it a lot in terms of like the visuals of the solar system. It's like everyone else also is the nucleus of their own social solar system. And a refrain that my clients quote me on a lot that I really stand by is, you just never know who has a hot cousin. People know people, and great people tend to know other great people. And it's very much, in my opinion, the best way to meet romantic prospects is like through network. So sometimes I have an inkling or like an intuition about, okay, these two people need to meet. Or like, for example, there's these two people I'm going to be setting up who I know I won't say who they are. But it just hit me at like 6:30 a.m. the other week. I was like, such and such needs to meet such and such. Like, I can see this. So what I suggest, some people do blind dates or whatever. What I think is a more effective technique is what I'm going to tell you today, because something I really see and know from the work that I do, and I've been doing this work for close to 7 years now, both as a matchmaker and then within my own business with creating, doing direct coaching and educational content around relationships, both romantic, social, and, fulfilling social life. Is that you gotta account for people feeling awkward. Like, for example, whenever I do events, I haven't done a live event in a while, but like, I don't overtly host singles events because it tends to shift the energy in the room. People get nervous when there's too much pressure, and it feels a little, it feels like too much pressure, maybe a little too transactional, a little too transparent, and it impacts how people show up and the kind of connection they're having, and even who shows up in the room, right? So what I have noticed is a far better technique if you want to get people to, meet, mingle, all the above, and potentially vibe romantically. I'm your subscriber. Yay, I'm glad. Welcome to this live with me. It's better if you just get people in the same space and don't put the pressure on it to be romantic. Because you never know. Even in matchmaking, I can have a feeling and one or both people aren't feeling it or whatever, but like, it's way more likely that people are going to be feeling it if they don't feel the pressure to feel it. It's kind of like online dating. That's one of the things with online dating that I think like trips people up, is it's so overt what you're there for that like you don't necessarily always feel the freedom to just get to know someone as a person first before assessing or realizing, oh, whoa, I could be into this person. So it's better, in my opinion, to get people in the same space without overt pressure that this needs to be a romantic connection. It's actually more likely to turn into a romantic connection than a blind date, for example. And obviously, a blind date situation can definitely work and turn into something and people can really connect. But you see what I'm saying, of like, there's more pressure versus like there's space for people to just kind of like connect with each other and discover or like start to flirt or like discover that they're into each other. So that's what I suggest if you want to set up your friends, is you've got to have like some chill factor to it. Like people are going to get nervous, they're going to get clammy, they're going to feel awkward if it feels too setup-y, because then it's like, oh God, from our initial encounter, we're already like assessing each other through that lens versus like we're getting to know each other as people and realizing, oh, whoa, you're cute. Like I could be into you. So if you want it, if you have a couple friends and you're like, okay, there could be something here, my suggestion is maybe you want to vibe check with both of them around like, are you open to meeting someone? Like, are you going on dates? Do you want to like meet romantic prospects? Vibe check with both of them without necessarily being like, and you can kind of work that in conversation. You don't need to be so, you got to be like a little covert about it. Well, not necessarily all the time. I'll get to that in a second. But like for the most part, with both parties, you want to just vibe check that they're open to meeting people and dating. And then ideally, you want to kind of get an understanding of what they're both looking for and make sure that aligns, right? So like if you know someone wants a relationship, but then like you vibe check with the other person and they are fresh out of a breakup, they're not really like available for that, that's good to know, right? Like you don't like, you want to be respectful of your friends and like get facilitating situations or connections for them that are aligned, right? They're on the same page. So I think that's an important piece, is getting an understanding of, okay, I know this person is like wanting to meet people. I know this person is like open to dating, potentially open to a relationship. And then from there, what I would suggest is whoever you're closer with, you can let them know. You don't have to. You could just like have a party and get them in the same space and see what happens. But like, I would suggest most of the time, and you know, this is not a hard and fast rule, there's different situations, but like most of the time, I'll only tell one party that I'm like, yo, I kind of think you might like this person. They're gonna be at this party, or like I'm gonna, whatever you're gonna do to get them in the same space in a low pressure way where like they don't feel like everyone's watching them and being like, are they vibing? Because that's where people clam up, they get nervous. It feels like pressure. It doesn't feel like their choice. Like it's much better if they don't feel like they're on display. So what I would do is, yeah, with this match that I'm currently making, a natural 304. What does that mean? What does that mean? What's a 304? I have told my girlfriend, I'm like, yo, I think you should meet this person. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna arrange something where there's like a group, a handful of us, we're all in the same space. I'm not gonna say anything, or like I've gauged from him that like he is dating, wants to meet people, XYZ. I have my reasons for thinking there's going to be compatibility and like thinking you guys might be into each other, but like I'm not going to say that overtly to him. This is what I'm saying to my girlfriend. So I'm going to give her essentially the opportunity to get in the space with him, and we'll see if something develops, you know? Without like, and he doesn't know that that's what I'm up to, but she does. So I'm gonna get him in the same space and we're gonna see how that goes. And then from there, depending on how they connect, what kind of connection they make, I might meddle a bit and get them in the same space again, and etc. But that's essentially the suggestion I have, is like, gauge that they're both on the same page in terms of what they're looking for, and then get them in the same, arrange something in a group capacity such that they get in the same space, they're able to meet each other, etc. But you're not telling both people what you're up to. You're potentially, I mean, you don't even have to tell either of them, but like, I generally will tell the person that I'm like closer with, what I'm like, yo, I think you would like this person. They're going to be at this. I haven't said anything to them. Let's see how it goes, right? That way there's like a seed planted, there's some intention like planted, but you're not making anyone feel too on display, too awkward, or too pressurized, so that if something does develop between them, it's very much happening because it happened between them. Get what I'm saying? So I honestly think that is more effective than like a blind date. And of course, that can work, as I said, but it tends to be too pressurized. So whatever you can do to lower the stakes and just give them the opportunity to see what's there for themselves. Oh, wow, it's already been 16 minutes. That's crazy. That, in my experience, has worked very well. And I have matchmade with many friends and or people. Yeah, that's the flow. That's really the flow that I think works. Don't be too obvious about it, but you can still be intentional. Better to not, put too much pressure on the event. And also, don't be too obvious about it when you're all together. Because again, that just puts on the pressure. Then if like someone's not feeling it or whatever it is, it's not that big a deal. No one feels like that rejected if you're like, hey, I don't know if so, but I wonder if you two are gonna vibe. Let's like put you in the same space, and I haven't said this to them. Let's see what happens, and if it goes well, maybe you guys vibe, get each other's numbers, etc., take it from there. Maybe you just get the initial read where you're like, okay, they're attractive. I liked them. I totally am interested. In which case, I would probably go to the other person I hadn't said something to and say something like, hey, X mentioned that they thought you were cute. And then kind of just, subtly plant the seed such that they both understand, okay, there's a little attraction here, and then let them take it from there. So it's their choice, right? Versus you're inviting someone over and then you're like, hey, this is such and such brother. We thought you guys would love to meet. And then everyone just feels awkward about it. You got to be a little bit subtle. But like, plant some strategic seeds of encouragement that allow them to pursue it if they want to. Very beautiful smile. Hello. Hi, Rom. Hi. So that's my suggestion. It's really fun setting up friends, and if you want friends to set you up, just tell people, hey, I am actively dating. I want to meet people. Like, I don't necessarily want to go on any blind dates, but like, if you ever have any friends or people you think I might connect with, I would love to be like thrown in the same space. But like, don't make it too overt. I don't make it too overt. You can kind of like let me know who you're thinking so I can clock it and we'll take it from there. But yeah, really just getting them in the same space, planting the seeds maybe with both of them separately, but not like pushing too much. And then it gets to be or kind of a more natural progression of the connection that they're both opting into together. So you're just kind of like pulling the strings in the background. I'm your best friend. That's sweet. Thank you. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. I might actually go live later because I want to tell you guys about van life and this baby elk situation in the rainforest. But let me know what comes up for you around that kind of sequential flow of how to like subtly matchmake your friends. Let me know if you've had experiences with that. If you want to be matchmade with your friends, again, like that's the flow. If you want your friends to set you up, like suggest a flow like that. Like maybe you tell them, hey, I want to meet people. They're like, oh, you might really like XYZ. Be like, cool. Like maybe don't mention it to them yet. Like let's find an opportunity for us to get in the same space, and then we'll like do a little meddling from there. So it's like, it's light meddling. That's the best strategy in my plentiful experience of setting up friends. And I've set up a lot of people. It's so fun. It's so fun to bring people together and facilitate connection like that. But again, it's like you're just subtly pulling the strings, planting some seeds, arranging circumstances so they cross paths. Like if someone says something complimentary about the other, you can share and be like, they said this, like little nudge, but not too, no pushing. You want people to feel their agency in this, and you want them to feel comfortable so that they're not getting so clammy in the situation because it feels like everyone's expecting this to go a certain way, right? And sometimes they vibe, sometimes they don't. It's up to them. But you can just have that initial idea, and like people who want to meet people or want to meet dates, like it's such a fun value add, and it's a fun thing to like be able to contribute in that way that can potentially bring so much happiness to both of your friends. I support your YouTube channel. I appreciate that. How you can choice boyfriend. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Happy meddling. I will see you soon. Thank you for tuning in to today's Mutter and Putter. Enjoy matchmaking, and I will talk to you soon.